Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the line right now.
Yes,
brother
indeed.
Anthony Anderson. Welcome, brother.
What's going on? What's going on? It's been too long.
Long time, man.
Man, I was thinking about you the other day, Anthony, because I was, Blackish is always on and syndication reruns something. And I was like, man, he's a creator, he's an EP, it's a hit sitcom, it's syndicated. Does Anthony Anderson ever have to work again?
Yes, Anthony Anderson does have to work again. I don't make as much money as you, Charlamagne the God, or DJ NV, and Angela Yee. Angela, what happened to that 17-foot bundle I saw you put in your head the other day? Is it still there?
55 inches. It's a U-part wig, so they part it like this, and my real hair comes in the middle. But yes, 55 inches. But I do have an 85-inch bundle if you need it.
Oh, okay. No, so is that the 55 inches wrapped up in there right now, or no?
Not real hair.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The last time we saw Anthony Anderson, we were all courtside at a game virtually when we were all at the game. Then a couple of weeks later, you went and got a colonoscopy live, and you videotaped the whole thing.
Were you courtside for that too?
After the courtside game. So
not during the game, Angela. It was after. I did that. I recently turned 50, and it was just time to get it done. Thank you. And because of how colon cancer affects, our community at large, the way that it does disproportionately, I felt the need to document it, to take the stigma off of it, and let men know that, this is something that we need to do, that we should do, especially with the loss of Chadwick Boseman and others alike. I just felt it necessary to help educate and document my experience and show everybody that it's cool to do this, and it can save your life.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. But how uncomfortable was it?
Yeah.
Yo, man, it wasn't uncomfortable at all. Once they gave you that Michael Jackson, you was out. You didn't feel anything. Once they hit you with the propofol, man, and I woke up in the recovery room 45 minutes later, feeling great, not knowing what had happened to me.
Wow.
I don't know if I like that. I didn't know they knock you out.
Hey, Charlamagne, there's nothing to dislike because you wouldn't know what happened, so you'd be fine.
Right.
That's true. Charlamagne, you've been there before anyway, so I got another question.
Are you nervous about actually filming that process, though?
What'd you say, Angela?
It's one thing to do it, but it's another thing because it's on camera. So did that make you nervous at all?
No. Actually, when the procedure started, the camera stopped rolling. So
we didn't see the pipe. We didn't see the go in his ass.
No.
Come on now.
Angela, what kind of sick and twisted mind do you have?
I've had colonics before, and they didn't knock me out for no colonic.
Hey, Charlamagne. With colonic, all they're doing is sticking a water hose up to your backside, man, and flushing you out. With a colonoscopy, they're going a little bit deeper than that, bro.
They're going deep.
Charlamagne, how many colonics have you had, Charlamagne? How many colonics have you had?
I had like 6, because you got to do 6. It's a procedure, so you got to do like 6. I had like 6.
You've had 6, Charlamagne? Now tell me this, because you say you got a package deal, it sounds like. Why did you get the package deal of 6? What was the process?
The way she explained it to me is that's how you're supposed to do it. Like, you don't do everything in one session. Like, you got to keep coming back for 6 weeks.
Nah, it sounds like a hustle to me. It sounds like a hustle on her part, and it sounds like you enjoyed it a little bit too much. Because when I went and got mine, the doctor was like, "You good after this one, and you come back if you want." But we may have to book you 6 weeks out because Charlamagne booked for the next 5. So,
Lord have mercy.
I thought I went to Kentucky. They were like, "You one and done." I was like, "Okay, cool, doc, good. I ain't got to come back for this one."
Did you feel any health benefits from it?
Health benefits, no, but I did feel something. I mean, what's crazy? This is kind of crazy, y'all. I'm sitting there And the doctor that was doing my colonic, halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through, said, Anthony, you need to chew your food more. And I, what do you mean, doc? Well, I do chew my food. She says, no, you don't. And she pointed to the screen, and there was a whole broccoli floret just floating through. And she was just taking out of me. And I was like, oh, I guess you're right. I guess I may need to chew my food a little bit more than that. It was literally a whole broccoli floret just floating through the solution.
Gracious.
You have to wear a diaper after that, because I know they said stuff still comes out after.
What do you think you could call it?
No, Angela. No, there were no diapers involved. Again, what sick and sordid, twisted life do you live after you get off the air?
But so there's no leakage.
Leakage.
Nah, they make you go sit on the toilet for as long as you want. So you sit on the toilet, you get all that out before you leave. At least that's what happened when I went to mine.
Well, you've gone to so many, Charlamagne, so yeah, you're able to speak on that.
Now listen, Anthony, I know that I saw that you cut off your kids recently financially.
I did, and for good reason, to teach them financial responsibility and to teach them financial literacy. My daughter is still, she's still holding on to my purse strings, but my son, and it wasn't anything malicious. It was that he was making adult decisions, and there are consequences that come with your choices. My son decided that he wanted to drop out of college to pursue a career in acting and rapping. I support that. I was like, okay, cool, son. But as long as he was at Howard University, I was taking care of everything. But when he made the decision to drop out and not have a job, that's when things had to turn real for him. And so those purse strings were ultimately cut for him, and he had to deal with real life. And he's been doing it for the last 2.5 years on his own. He had a gig before he went to Howard that paid him handsomely, and he's been managing his money well based on the things that we taught him growing up.
I see you've been doing some financial planning, giving people help with that also. How did you learn how to be so financially savvy?
I learned from mistakes of others. I learned from living paycheck to paycheck growing up. Financial literacy and having a financial advisor and planning for the future weren't things that were discussed around our dinner table at home growing up in Compton with my parents, because we were living paycheck to paycheck. So I learned, what it was how it was that I didn't want to live, and how it was to plan for the future. And so, just recently I partnered with Northwestern Mutual and brought my mom on board to explain to her and educate her about the importance of having a financial plan. You don't necessarily have to be wealthy or rich to have a financial plan. That's the misconception that a lot of people have. You plan, a financial plan is tailor-made to your lifestyle and tailor-made to your income. We plan on birthdays, we plan on trips, we plan for Christmases. That's a form of financial planning. And if you just put that into real time and in your real life, you're doing it. And so that's what teaming up with Northwestern Mutual is about, and trying to help educate our community on the importance of having a will, of the importance of having insurance, the importance of having a trust, the importance on planning for your future, whether it be $10 or $10,000, have a plan in place.
Back to your son. White people do it all the time, nepotism. You never thought about, hey, this is my son. He's an actor. He's done good on Netflix. Bring him into my fold, so he always eats.
Always. Hey, envy. That of course. That's what I explained to him. But one of the reasons that my son came to me not too long ago and told me he wanted to do it on his own, which I respect.
Right.
But what I didn't understand, and I explained to him, was like, I don't understand why you wouldn't receive the help that I have to give to you. I'm in a position in my life where I can even the playing field for you, son.
Correct.
You know, and he was like, nah, Dad, I want to do it on my own. Nobody did it. Nobody helped you. I was like, well, son, not directly, but indirectly, I did have the help. But let me just pose this question to you. Imagine how much further I would be in my life and in my career if I had someone like me in my life at the same age as you to help.
That's right.
You know, and he stood his ground. It was like, nah, I'm gonna do this on my own. I can do nothing but support him and be like, all right, I'm here if you need me. I'm here when you need me.
Like that though, and see that's the problem. Like you look at, and I'll look at white coaches, right? And look at our culture. You know, I didn't know how to invest. You didn't know how to invest. You didn't know what to do until it hit us. But a lot of other coaches, if it's white, if it's Asian, they teach their kids how to invest. They teach their kids the stock market. They help their kids. And then when it comes to us, we always like, nah, I want to do it on my own. Why? I never understood why.
I don't, neither do I, Envy, and that's where I am right now. I don't understand that mentality. I get it. Yeah, I got it out of the mud. I did this. I was like, okay, but why I got to go get dirty like that? You know, when it's sitting over here on the table for me to get, why I got to go dig for it? Let me go dig for something else, but I don't have to dig for that. I don't know.
I think it's because Black people feel like we have to struggle. I think it's something in us that makes us think if we struggle and get it through a struggle, it's worth more.
Could be that. I mean, you know, it could be something that's been systematically programmed into us for, you know, a few generations. You know, and you know, we as men and women, Angela included, you know, we're trying to break that cycle, you know, for our offspring and all of that. But I don't understand it. I respect my son for having the wishes that he had. I'm here for him whenever he needs me. But, you know, it's hands off right now. I have to stand back. He'll be 21 in a few days. So I just have to let him stand on his own and be a man.
Gotcha.
You know, I saw you on Fallon a couple years ago, and I remember you saying that I think you dropped out of college because you ran out of money, and then you had plans of graduating with your son from Howard in 2022. So does that disappoint you that not gonna happen?
No, that didn't disappoint me. You know, that was a narrative that I created. It was something that I wanted. And we have to face it, man. College isn't for everyone.
Right.
And, you know, apparently it wasn't, you know, in the cards for my son. And I couldn't force my beliefs on him and what I thought an education was because of how I grew up and whatnot. It's a new generation, it's a new time, it's a new era. So no, that didn't disappoint me at all. I still plan on getting my degree from Howard. I'm still 15 credits short, still working on that program. I just won't be graduating with my son in 2022, but I will be graduating from HU.
Word.
This sounds like great for Blackish, really.
It does sound like an episode of Blackish.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, art always imitates life. That's what it's always about. That's what our show's been about for the last 7 years that we've been on. You know, just sharing these stories.
Yeah, one of my favorite Blackish episodes, it actually came on the other day, is the rerun when you first went to therapy. And I wondered what the feedback of that episode was when you're out and about. Do people come up to you and be like, yo, I started going to therapy because of that episode, or what?
Oh, yeah, all of that, man. You know, it's interesting how our show has become not just entertainment, but informational and a teaching tool, a coping mechanism, if you will. It amazes me how, you know, we're just telling our stories and telling the things that we've experienced in life and what we're going through, and how it resonates with an audience, and how people, and how it really affects people. And people stop me on the street from all walks of life, all racial backgrounds, and say, you know, when I see your family on screen, I see my family. Or, you know, I never thought about going to therapy. I never thought about doing this until, you know, I saw your episode. It was like, yo, I'm a type 2 diabetic as well. I love how you brought that onto your character. And, you know, it's made me get my health in order. So, you know, it's a feather in our cap when, you know, people stop me on the street and tell me that they've learned something from what from a story that we told on our show.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's good to see representation that's real on television. No disrespect to the Cosby Show, but growing up in Queens, you didn't see a lawyer and a doctor together living in my neighborhood. You just didn't see that. You've seen you've seen police officers. So seeing what you're doing is, and so many people say, yo, your family in Blackish is almost identical. Now, I wanted to ask you, you talk about diabetes and you being diabetic. What is your thoughts on the vaccine as far as COVID is concerned? You said you're over 50 years old, you have diabetes. Are you going to take the vaccine?
Yeah, I plan on taking it, man. I've been talking to my friends who are MDs, surgeons, and all of that to get the info on it, and they have all the research. They have to take it. One of my boys was a doctor, was like, "Yo, Ed, I'm a surgeon. I can't social distance while I'm a surgeon, so I have to take the vaccine." And so they've sent me all the data. I have a pre-existing condition, man. I'm 50. 2, more importantly, I'm a type 2 diabetic. So it's all about doing what I need to do to protect myself so I can be here as long as I can be. And yes, I plan on taking the vaccine. And I plan on taking it soon.
Me too.
So that's my personal take on it. I understand the hesitancy or why we as a community aren't trusting because of things like the Tuskegee experiment and just dealing how our government has dealt with our community in all facets of life. So I understand why some people are trepidatious about it. I've gone out in the community and advocated, for COVID-19 testing. And I was in Watts in the Nickerson Gardens once, and I was out with the mayor of Los Angeles, and we had a whole mobile van out there mobilizing just to test people. And there were a group of people who were just standing around. So I wanted to talk to the brothers, and I was like, "Hey, man, you guys getting tested?" They're like, "Nah, man, they're not giving me that. I'm not going over there to get the disease." We sat up there and had a real conversation about it. And, I understood where they were coming from, but you said what?
I don't, because I did that in South Carolina where I'm from. I did 2 testing sites in Columbia and Charleston, and it was some niggas like, "You a sellout? They putting that disease up our people's nose?" I'm like, "Nigga, no."
Yeah. No, based on history, Charlamagne, you have to understand.
I understand the distrust for the vaccine based on history, but not the testing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No. I'm with you on that. And that was my whole argument with them, or I shouldn't say argument, but my whole discussion with them. I was like, man, come on, bro. Don't you want to know if you've been infected with this so you don't come home and spread this throughout your community and spread this with your family? Wouldn't you want to know that? And they're like, "Nah, man, I ain't fucking with that." and I just had to fall back and respect that. I was like, "Okay, I understand. Look, I wish you the best, though, bro. I wish all of you the best. I'm out here trying to make a difference and trying to help the community. I'm not maliciously out here, consciously out here bringing disease into my own community. I'm here to help this."
That's right.
And they do have the anal swab now. I know Charlamagne signed up for the 6-pack.
No.
Yo, I heard about that and thought that was a joke. How do you get tested for that, Charlamagne?
I've never gotten the anal swab. I heard it's the most effective, though. It's the most effective and it's the most accurate from what I heard.
Well, you would know.
Anthony, I was thinking, you said you never have to work again, right? Well, you said you still have to work again.
Yes.
What would you want to do after playing Andre Johnson? Like, what do you do after playing a role like that?
It's all about reinventing. Myself. That's what it's all about. Trying to figure out what the next move is going to be. And you can't go out thinking that you're going to create greatness. You just have to go out and be as great as you can be, and hopefully it catches fire. I don't know, man. After this run of Blackish, hopefully we're around for a couple more seasons. I might flip the script and just go back into, something dramatic. Just something, different than what the audience has known me for the last 7, 8, 9 years. But it's just all about reinvention, man. That's it.
In your head, how does Blackish even end? Like, how would you even see the last season?
I don't see it right now. So that's a great question. I don't know what our stories are going to be. But it would be a disservice to the audience, to the culture, and to the show if it were just to end tomorrow. Yeah, it's something that we have to plan. It's something that it's going to be epic, and it's going to be memorable. What those stories are going to be, how we're going to finish it off, we don't know yet. We're still in the midst of telling these stories and growing and learning ourselves.
Yeah, I wonder, can you even end it at this point? Because you've got this whole ish universe. You got grown-ish, you got mixed-ish. I'm hearing there's an oldish with Jennifer Lewis and Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know if that's true or not. So how do you, with Blackish being the nucleus, how do you end it if all that's happening?
Great question, Charlamagne. I don't. I don't know that. And yeah, oldish is something that's in the works. But we are the mothership. And the mothership and our offspring are only as strong as the mothership. So we've birthed some pretty good babies, man. So Blackish could go away and the ish universe would still survive. But I think in order for us to launch more issues into the world, the mothership still has to be there. At least to give birth to it. And then we can go away and let our children carry on the name. So that's what I think, and that's how I feel.
How did you feel about Kenya Barris's Black AF on Netflix?
You know what? I told Kenya, I was like, you're doing a good job imitating me, imitate you, imitate me. And to be honest, it started out a little slow for me, and I'm just being real. And these are conversations that I had with Kenya. But by the third or fourth episode, it turned around and it really had me at that point. Yeah, look, man, I wish nothing but success for anybody in this business, especially when they're my friends and my brothers and they look like me. We have a multitude of stories that we can all tell. And with streaming services and networks and all these different avenues for us to tell these stories on, there isn't a reason why we can't all tell our stories in these different places. So
let's not tell the same story though. I love Kenya. Kenya's a genius, but I'm like, when I saw Black AF, I'm like, I've seen this before, and this is like a second-rate version of something that's already great, which is Blackish.
And that's your opinion, Charlamagne. That's the beauty of having an opinion. It's like an asshole. Everybody has one. Some are cleaner than the other.
Yes. You get colonics. You get 6 of them. Where do you rank Blackish in regards to black sitcoms? All time.
Oh, all time. It's up there, man. It's up there with the greats, brother. It's up there with the Cosbys. It's up there with the Jeffersons. It's up there with Good Times. It's up there with Bernie Mac and My Wife and Kids. It's up there. Where it ranks, I don't know. I'll go out and say, we're in the top 5. I would say that we're in the top 5 just of what the show has meant and it means to the culture and what it's doing worldwide, universally. Our show isn't just an American show. Our show is seen around the world, man. When I went to Africa, my second or third trip to Africa, I can't remember which one it was. I'm walking through the airport in Joburg, and we're not even shown internationally at that time yet. And every time I walked past someplace, all I heard was the mumblings, Blackish, 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 look, it's Blackish, Blackish, Black. And I was like, yo, I was like, is our show over here? And they were like, no, they've been catching it on some type of streaming service or on the internet somehow. And that's when I was like, oh, wow, this is big. You know, you look at sitcoms of back in the day. You look at the Martins and you look at, you know, shows like that. They were huge domestically, but sometimes our comedy doesn't translate internationally. So those shows never really make it big internationally, even though they were juggernauts here in the States. You know, I can honestly say for Blackish, we play around the world. And so that's why I say top 5. And we're not 4th or 5th. I'll go out and say that much.
And I think the fact that the internet is here now, so people can see it on the internet. But there was no internet back then, so. But I would definitely say top 5, absolutely.
Are you
I agree.
Any of these reboots that people are doing now? You see all these old shows getting rebooted. Do you watch any?
I haven't seen any of the reboots. I've heard about them. I've heard good things about some. I've heard some, say, maybe they should have left that alone. You know, I don't know. Let me ask you this, Angela. What would you like to see rebooted?
Well, I'm excited about Waiting to Exhale being a series because I did used to love that movie. We were just talking today that they're redoing Small Wonder, but as a Black theme. You know what show I used to love? And this is super old. It was called Out of This World. And she used to be able to freeze time.
Yes.
I remember that. Yep.
And because that's the power I wish I could have so I could get more sleep. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. And you know what? I feel like there were so many white shows that we had when we were younger, you know, that it is nice to reimagine those if it was Black people.
The Jeffersons rebooted. Could you imagine the Jeffersons rebooted right now?
Yeah, that's where I was going to go, MV. Yeah, I was going to be like, yo, the Jeffersons and Good Times, you know, because, you know.
They are bringing Good Times back as an animated series, right?
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you know more than me.
I would love to see.
Where are you getting your information from? Hey,
somebody I know is on it.
No, you say what?
Somebody I know is on it. That's why.
Oh, all right. No, but you know, you look at the landscape of television when we were growing up and watching television. There weren't too many stories told by us for us. So, you know, we have to lean on shows like, you know, The Wonder Years and, you know, and all of that, great shows. But, you know, so to go back and think about what would we reboot, you know, in terms of Black comedy or Black shows, you know, our list is limited. But I'm with you, Envy. I would love to see the Jeffersons. I would love to see the Jeffersons in real time today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, George Jefferson was, I think, every Black pops. That's how he felt about people, and what he said was what was all Black adults said growing up as a kid. I would love to see it.
You know, that's why, you know, Kenya and myself were huge Norman Lear fans, because you look at these characters that were created in these shows, these iconic Black characters, even Archie Bunker. Know, they were opinionated. You know, they lived in their truth. You knew exactly where you stood with all of these characters, and they were unapologetic about who they were, being bigots, being racist, you know, on both sides, Black and white, and all of that, you know. So it would be interesting to see those type of characters from then in today's world, today's society.
Maybe
you know, you get. I don't know. You know, some of the things that they said. It's interesting. Some of the things and topic and subject matters that Norman Lear talked about on the Jeffersons and All in the Family and all of that, you can't even talk about or say some of the things that they say on television today, on broadcast television. You can't on
politically correct,
but not broadcast television. You know, it's amazing.
You know, Anthony, not just reboots. Why haven't you and Kenya and Tracy got with Mara Brock Akil and given us some closure on Girlfriends? Y'all got the power to do it.
Well, I don't know. What wasn't there closure on Girlfriends?
No,
I don't know.
No, Girlfriends just abruptly ended. We don't know what happened. Tony never came back. We don't know if Joan got married. It just abruptly ended.
Okay, well, that's something to think about.
I thought after them appearing on Blackish, something would come from that.
It might. You never know. It might. When I get to work, I'm going to talk to Tracy about that. It's all about, if they want to go back and do it, if they want to come back and do a Girlfriends movie, like Sex and the City, just to bring some closure. But sometimes people don't want to go back to the past. I don't know if that's the case or not. But some people feel that that was a chapter in my life that's complete. I moved on. I've grown. It was like, but no, this is what we want. I'm telling you what we want from you. It's like, okay, cool. That's what you want from me, but that's not what I want for myself. So there could be a lot of factors at play on that. But I'm bringing
They've
up.
all said they want to do it.
You say what?
They've all said they want to do it.
Oh, well, you know what? Let's put it out there in the ether then. Let's make it happen.
All right.
Y'all got the power to do it. Y'all got the power to do it right now. Between you, Kenya, Tracy, y'all got the power. Mara, Brock, and Kill, y'all got the power.
Yeah, let's go back and do it. Don't forget about Kelsey Grammer.
Well, I don't know. He might be one of those ones that get canceled in 2021. I don't know. Can we? I don't mind it, but people don't like his views because he's the Trump supporter.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't care though.
Look, we all have our views. You know what I'm saying? We all have our views. That's the beauty of the country that we live in. You don't have to agree with them or not, but we're entitled to them.
Absolutely.
Hey, before you go, Anthony, how do you plan to I guess repay your mother? I see that you're doing some things with your mom, and your mom gave up a career for you. So what are you going to do to repay her?
I gave her a job, Charlamagne. She's on television every week. What are you talking about? I hooked her up with a financial advisor.
That's right.
The financial plan put in place.
Now, how was working with your mom?
No, it's great, man. We have a great time. My mom, our relationship is more brother-sister than it is mother-son. But like Charlamagne said, my mother put, dreams of being an actor on hold to raise an actor, not knowing that's what she was doing. And so repaying her is paying homage to her the last 25 years that I've been in this game. All I do is talk about my mom. All I do is talk about the sacrifices that she made. And I'm in a position now to be able to allow her to live out her dream this late in life and her career. And basically, it's given her a career in this industry that she's coveted all these years. And she's doing her thing, man. She's been on Blackish. She's in my Super Bowl commercials and my T-Mobile spots. We're partners in that. She's my partner and road dog on our game show, To Tell the Truth. We'll be taking that internationally soon, starting in Africa. And so, to be able to have my mother travel the world and be known as Doris Day, not just as Anthony Anderson's mom, she has her own identity. So, that's how I'm paying it forward and repaying my mother.
Oh,
what I wanted to ask you, does Blackish ever lead to some difficult conversations at home when the family sees certain topics and they're like, oh, well, that happened with us, and now you're using it on the show, and let's talk about that way.
A little bit it's happened in the past. Like, why y'all gotta talk about that? Why you gotta say that? I was like, well, I didn't say it was you. Well, they know some of it's based on me. When I go to school, they were like, yo, did you really get caught jacking off? I was like, well, that was my story. I just didn't say it was you, son, but okay, well, that was our story. I got into an argument with my daughter once. We had a disagreement, and we just could not see eye to eye on anything. And I couldn't believe she said, why can't you be more like your character on TV? And I was like, fuck. I was like, well, because he got 15 writers in the room trying to make this resolve happen in 27 minutes on TV. That's why. Shit, it's not real life. This is real life. You and I are talking about right now. Those are stories, But yeah, I couldn't believe that, she literally said that to me, man, and had me fall back for a minute and had to think about it. I was like, okay, hold on, wait a minute. Could I have handled that differently? You know, could I have said something differently? And I was like, nah, nigga, that's what Anthony Anderson would have said, not what Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson don't live here. Anthony Anderson does.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate you for checking in, and we'll always support Blackish, man. Thank you so much.
And one last question. Did Michael Jordan ask for a rematch in dominoes?
He knows better than to ask for that.
Uh-oh.
You've been out telling this story. I'm like, I wonder as he hit Anthony up, like when I see you again in dominoes, it's on.
No, he not running from this ass whooping. We just haven't had the time and opportunity to get back to the bone table. But he knows what he's in store for. Look, and every time this story comes up, I get a call from him who's like, you're telling that shit again, huh? I was like, look here, man, not too many people can say they beat you at anything. So, you know, for me to be able to do that, yeah, I'm gonna tell this story till the day that I die. He was like, well, you know, that's the only story you're gonna be able to tell or how you beat me, right? I was like, okay, that's cool. All I need is one.
You probably could beat him in bowling.
Oh, yo, I might be able to because I'm a beast when it comes to bowling. I'm a beast. You know that, Angela.
I've seen it. Competitive.
Yeah. All right. Well, Anthony Anderson, we appreciate you, brother.
Always a pleasure, my brother.
It's the Breakfast Club.
Thanks, fellas.